Danny Seiden is the president of the Arizona Chamber of Commerce, so he knows firsthand the threat businesses face when it comes to cyber attacks.
Cyber attacks in Arizona have been costing hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars every single year. And a lot of times you don't know when those costs will stop.
Arizona currently ranks 8th in the country in cyber crimes, with school districts, hospitals, large and small businesses targeted. One of the biggest challenges companies face right now is from ransomware, which cyber criminals use to gain access and encrypt someone's system so it's no longer usable. Cyber criminals will then try to extort payment from their victims to release the data.
With modern ransomware, you've got a lot of different groups.
Mark Lance is a ransomware negotiator with GuidePoint Security in Virginia.
They're holding systems hostage. They're holding information hostage. They're, attempting to extort people in order to monetize their efforts.
Lance tells us businesses hit with ransomware will hire him to step in and negotiate with the cyber criminals to work out the payment and terms to set their systems free. He says most company officials have no idea what to do when they're attacked.
We've worked hundreds of cases where we're working on behalf of these victims. And what we bring is the ability to set expectations on what's going to transpire, but also educate them on what is potentially going on situationally. They're trying to create operational disturbances that will prevent you from being able to continue to run it as a business, where you need to pay them to get access back to these systems.
According to Lance, most ransomware attacks come from cyber criminals in Eastern Europe, with a handful of gangs working from the UK, South America, and the US. Ransom demands can range from a few $1,000s to several million. One cyber criminal asked for $700 million.
These are extremely lucrative operations for them, where they're making millions and in some cases even billions of dollars on an annual basis.
But even better advice is for businesses to make sure they have a strong security system in place to prevent hackers from getting in.
We have seen businesses that have had to close their door or shutter their business because of the impacts of ransomware.
A lot of these ransomware attacks we never hear about because companies don't exactly want them made public. Cyber experts tell me the better security businesses put in place, along with better training of employees to keep them from clicking on links they're not supposed to, will greatly reduce their chances of being hit with ransomware. Live in the newsroom, Jason Berry for Arizona's Family.